Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park baseball series. I'm Jeremy Frank here on a face cam for the first time. I had to switch from my OBS studio to Zoom, believe it or not, to record these videos because some of the other videos had some weird echo with my microphone, but I don't think Zoom is going to have the same issue. I think it was with the recording software I was using, so I switched it up. I know you can record meetings on Zoom, so I decided to try it out and use the share screen function. Hope it works. And I tested it and it looks good, so I'll just do it on here. And now you can see my face too. I was not prepared for this. I didn't really brush my hair, but so what we're going to be simulating today for the first time in a few days I've posted because of a microphone issue. I'm going to sim a few seasons in Major League Baseball, and after every season, I'm going to delete all of the players that reached 4 wins above replacement in the previous year. So pretty much like all of the players that were like close to being an all-star or like were an all-star, most of those guys are going to get deleted every year. So after 3 years, the league's going to be looking a whole lot different than it was to start out. So we'll go into a standard game. I'm not going to turn on challenge mode, and we'll call this one delete for war. So we're going to play this game in commissioner mode, not control any of the teams. And by the way, this was a suggestion in the comments from my friend Tyler Avon. This was his idea. I don't remember what he set the war threshold at, but I thought it was a good idea regardless of the exact number. So I'm going to run with it here. I'll start the game. So here we are in the game. We're not controlling anything. Like I said, we're not going to change any of the settings. It's just after each year, just delete the top players essentially. So I guess we're just going to go in and simulate the entire season. We're going to go on Do Not Disturb here. I don't know why it would disturb us, but we'll head into the playoffs end. So if you guys are watching this and you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm on Twitter at MLB Random Stats. And if you're interested in getting this brilliant game Out of the Park baseball, you can use the link in the description below with promo code Random Stats, and you can get 10% off the game if you're interested in getting it. Would definitely recommend. I made a video. I had a video made about why you should get it, but they had the audio echo, so I'm not going to post it. I'm going to make a new one, I think. But here we are, mid-April, end of April here. Some interesting things happening. The Royals are in first place. For some reason, the Royals do well sometimes in this. The Mariners in first place. I'm sure we'll see some of that get switched up. Braves are doing the best in baseball right now in the NL East. The Angels are now in first. Oh, it's kind of a big race here. 4 solid teams in the AL West. The Royals have kind of fallen down a little bit, still above 500, but it should be interesting to see. So there are some guys that are almost at the 4 WAR mark right now, and once they hit 4 WAR, as long as they don't go back below it, they're done. Their baseball career is over. So these players, to essentially be serviceable players next year, have to be as good as they can be this year. So like Mike Trout, oh, he's back down. Mike Trout will not be in the league next year as long as he doesn't fall below it. So it should be interesting to see who the best players are a few years down the road. It's gonna be like the best guys that are like never the best guys, like the best like above like the best average players, I guess you could say. But at the same time, even the average players, once you take away all of the good players from the league, are going to become those great players. So it'll be really interesting to see. I think I'll do 4 season simulations. So I'll do this first season, and then I'll have it where I change the league 3 times and see what happens for those 3 seasons. So it'll be this season plus 3, like, of those custom seasons, I guess you can say. And for the other seasons, I'll do it'll be more of a quick simulation for you guys. I won't talk over the whole thing, but it should be interesting. So Ozzie Albies is actually having a really good year in the National League. Malik Smith, 64 stolen bases at the All-Star break. Wow, that is incredible. I mean, he's at 4.2 WAR. No one else even had 30 stolen bases, and he has 64. That's kind of crazy. Aaron Savali, is that how you say his name? Is leading the American League in ERA. This is a really interesting simulation here. It usually takes a little bit to get through the All-Star July 10th break-ish, but I'm really mad that Malik Smith is going to end up being deleted from this because he's having such a historic season. I mean, he could theoretically reach 100 stolen bases. And it's not even like I would expect that down the road, like in year 2 or year 3, but this is just supposed to be a regular season simulation, and he's still going off. Carter Kai Boom is leading the National League in OPS. Very interesting over there. Mike Trout's having a great year, as he usually does. Luis Arias is hitting pretty decently. He was up there in WAR, I saw. But now the league leaders are kind of looking more as expected. I saw the Pirates up there, but other than that, the Dodgers, Astros, Indians, and the Rays and the Yankees battling it out over there, and the Braves with the best record in baseball, or at least close with the Dodgers. Eloy Jimenez has hit 41 home runs. Simmons is actually past. This is an interesting WAR race over here in the American League. Albies is having a great season, like I said earlier, but he'll have to retire after this year. So, I mean, it's kind of a pro and a con to be really good in this year. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with this. Does it show pitching WAR on here? I don't think it does on the side. But yeah, it'll be pitchers and position players will both be getting eliminated. The Padres get the wild card spot against the Phillies. The Angels beat the Rays in the wild card. Yankees, Twins, Braves, Padres beat the Dodgers, all moving on. Padres to the World Series against the Twins. And the Padres win the World Series. Okay. Interesting stuff. I mean, they don't really have many guys on the leaderboard over here, so they must have just had a great team effort. So now we're going to go in here and find where do I want to go here? The stats. And go to the sortable stats. To go to WAR. And everyone, so these are the pitchers. So we said 4 WAR or higher is all getting eliminated. So we just highlight them. I believe this is how you do it. All these guys that had 4 WAR as a pitcher are going to be eliminated. So Trevor Bauer is the best pitcher from last year that gets to stay in. So we right-click it. And we can retire, but I'd rather just delete him just in case they want to come out of retirement. So we'll delete him from the entire game. Did that not work? Give me a second. I don't think it worked. Pitching stats. WAR. Nope. Let's see if it works this time. So I'm going to highlight them and then delete players. No, I did not delete the players. That's interesting. What if I just retire them? Will that work? Retire players? I don't think I did anything. Oh, wait, no, Yu Darvish is retired. Oh, I guess even if I delete them, they'll stay on the leaderboard. I guess that makes sense. I thought it would delete their players, but I guess not. So we'll go over to batting stats and go to WAR here. And there are a lot more hitters that are getting deleted. So most of these guys are fantastic players, as you'd expect. Simmons had a really good year. You mentioned Albies was actually the best in terms of WAR. Look at how many 4 WAR. Wow, that's kind of a lot of players. Adam Eaton, gone. So you know what? I'm going to make it a 5 WAR threshold for the hitters and keep it at 4 for pitchers. I think that's more fair. Because I don't want to delete all of the hitters every year. So the 5 WAR players will get retired. And so, yeah, so he's retired. So now we'll simulate into next season and see how these teams are going to handle the retirement of all the good players. Okay, so here at spring training, going to sim until opening day. We'll take a look at the league leaders in both leagues. I know it's spring training, but we should see a lot of the guys who were good last year. Well, none of those guys are in the league anymore, so should still see some solid players. I can see Javier Baez there. I saw Xander Bogaerts over there. So still some solid players left in the league, but the thing is a lot of the stars are out. I guess Correa and Lindor are still in here. But again, we're missing a lot of the top talent for sure. I think Lindor is going to be the best player in baseball this year because he usually is very good. And now he's got deleted, or all of the players ahead of him got deleted. So Xander Bogaerts had a beast spring training. He was way better than anyone else, it looks like. So we'll simulate the full season, and we'll start. Well, I'll sim to the end of the playoffs, but I'll get back to when the playoffs start. But for like the first month, we'll stay here and look at the stats because I'm interested to see what happens here. So we got. I mean, it's early in the season, so these stats don't really mean too much, anyways. But a lot of names that you might not see otherwise, like Josh Naylor leading the league in RBIs at the beginning. He'll fall off probably, but Luke Voigt, Willie Calhoun. So some solid players, but a lot of them are not like current superstars. There's Lindor leading in WAR, Corey Seager still in the league, Real Muto and Lux. But yeah, so I'll simulate until the playoffs start, and once they get started, I'll come back on camera here. So here we are. We're nearing September right now. You could see some interesting statistical leaders here. John Adams has hit 46 home runs, not to be confused with the former president. The division leaders: Rays, Twins, Astros, Mets, Reds, Dodgers. Honestly, not too far out of reality. Lindor has 8 WAR. Juan Soto has 9.4. I did not realize he did not get deleted last time, but he will be this time. Brennan McKay, Chris Sale, Shane Bieber, and ERA. And then Jacob deGrom, Zach Gallen, and Vladimir Gutierrez on the Reds are leading in ERA. So definitely some names you would not expect to see on this list in a normal season. But that is because a lot of the top talent is no longer playing baseball anymore. So the Indians and Twins have both clinched playoff spots. Pretty big split in this division, like you usually see in the past few years. Dodgers have won quite a few games. John Adams is chasing 60 home runs, it looks like. Is he going to get there? How many games do they have left? I don't think they have any left. 58. Still a very great season from him. And the National League, they have 3 guys hit 53. Wow. Juan Soto drove in 151. Very interesting stuff. Mets, Rays World Series, and the Rays come back from 3-2 down, and they win it all. So, yeah, I thought my game was going to crash for a second there, but it didn't. So we're going to head into the stats here. My computer is like, my fan is going off right now because of how much it takes to film this, to screen record. So here are your WAR leaderboards. Juan Soto, Lindor, Seager, Donaldson, Moustakas, John Adams, Beeston, Fernando Tatis Jr., Kolinik. All of these guys, all the ones with 5 WAR are getting deleted. The pitchers with 4 WAR will also get deleted. So we'll go through here. Tatis, Kolinik, Real Muto, Correa, Bregman, Peterson, Machado, Bowers, Colton Wong, Torres, Brandon Lowe, Ketel Marte, Joe Adell, Kyle Tucker, Wander Franco got the call, Luke Voigt, Pete Alonso, Javi Baez, and he's the last one. Joey Votto's the best player from here left. We'll retire these guys. I think Luis Roberts can have a really good year next year because he just missed the threshold this past year. And then we'll go over to pitching stats. And we said 4 WAR for pitchers. So still not as many guys, which is interesting. But still, a lot of the top talent's already gone. So you can see the guys I'm deleting. Ohtani just gone. I'm sure he probably had more than 4 WAR total, but we're just going based on the leaderboards here. So we'll retire these guys. So these are the best guys from last year that'll still be in the league. So that's some guys to look forward to for next year. But I'm going to simulate until the regular season begins next year, and I'll see you guys then. So here we are, start of the regular season. Let's see if we got anything for, like, do they have power rankings here in the mail? I'm not sure. News listing. I don't think so. Some injuries and stuff. Star relief pitcher. Corey Knable. Interesting. The relief pitchers are going to stay the same for the most part because they're never going to reach the 4 WAR mark. Wait. Yeah, the 4 WAR mark for pitchers. But here are your top prospects. We're going to simulate the entire season here. Again, not going to keep you guys waiting too long while I sim it, but I'll sim until the playoffs. And we'll watch the first month like usual, and then I'll get back to you in like September. You take a look at the quick top leaderboards and see who ends up winning the World Series. So Red Sox off to a hot start. So are the White Sox. Like I said, Luis Roberts off to a torrid start. I think he's going to be one of the best players in the league this year. In the National League, we have Alexander Palma. I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of him before. He's having a Barry Bonds-esque season right now. Very early, though, in the season. Masahiro Tanaka's on the Cardinals, going all Bob Gibson on the start of the year. So we're in May, so I'll get back to you when whoa. Baseball expanded. I totally missed this. What? There are two whoa. There are two expansion teams right now. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that. You guys are gonna be like laughing at me, but I wasn't not really paying attention to the standings right now. So we have the Indianapolis Flying Tigers, who are 31-18. I mean, I've heard of a few of these guys. Again, all these guys are gonna be like kind of randos because the best players are gone, but they're in first place in the AL Central. And then the Jacksonville Thunder Bats. Here's their team. I've heard of some more of these guys, but still, very interesting stuff here. So the league automatically expanded. I could obviously turn it off if I wanted to, but I didn't because I think it's kind of funny. But interesting stuff there. So, yeah, I'll see you guys at the end of the season or near the end of the season when this is done simming. So here we are nearing the end of August. You can see the standings. The Mariners are in first place in the West, Twins in the Central, Rays in the East. Indianapolis Flying Tigers look like they're going to make the playoffs, though. Then the Mets, Cardinals, and Dodgers. The other expansion team, the Jacksonville Thunderbats, not doing as great. The leaderboards over here. Some guy in Indianapolis, Lazaro Alonso, has 55 home runs and is by far in first in Major League Baseball. Royce Lewis, Alonso, and Adames on top of WAR over here. McHugh, Logan Gilbert, and Matt Whistler, so how you say his name, in the ERA leaderboard, and then the National League. Corbin, Syndergaard, and Wilson. I'm surprised that Corbin and Syndergaard made it this far. They won't survive one more year, I don't think, though. Batting average, Luck, Stahl, and McNeil. Story, Mazzara, Muncy. So here in the playoffs, anyways. Gavin Lux had 7.8 WAR. The Flying Tigers are playing the Yankees in the wild card game, and they lose. Quick end to their first potential playoff run. But other than that, we'll see what happens here. Tuki Toussaint snuck into the ERA leaderboard at the end here, it looks like. Gavin Lux just went off. So did Alonso. Yankees, Rays, Padres, Mets. Padres trying to win their second World Series of the Sim, it looks like. If I remember that they won the first one, I think. But the Rays end up winning it all. Was that a rematch of the first one? I don't exactly remember. I think it was. I could be wrong. On the title of this video, I think I'm going to say that I'm deleting every All-Star. I think I'm kind of deleting the equivalent of an All-Star in terms of their WAR number. I know I'm not actually looking at the All-Star game players, but I think it's easier to understand if I put it that I'm deleting all the All-Stars instead of like I'm deleting every 5 WAR pitcher and every 5 WAR position player and every 4 WAR pitcher. But I'll just say All-Star, I think. So don't get too mad at me for that. Lazar, he had 63 home runs, 141 RBIs. Where is this guy from? I'm not too big on prospects. Batting stats. League, all levels. So, what team is this? I'm not sure from those abbreviations. Low-key. He's drafted by Miami. Oh, from the expansion draft from Miami. What does history look like? So he signed. Okay, he was on the Marlins, and then that was all the Marlins. Okay, that makes sense. Then he was drafted. Okay, so he was a Marlins. Is he a prospect? I don't know if he was a prospect. If he's a prospect right now or not. That's cool. We'll go to the stats and sort here. We said we'll get rid of every 4 WAR pitcher. Nate Pearson barely makes the cut. Kluber, Baez, Paxton, Kopech, Anderson, Ryan, Tanaka, Matz, Gratterall, Gilbert, Bolton, Corbin, McHugh, Toussaint, Syndergaard, and then Matt Manning led everyone. Interesting stuff. Retire those guys, and then the batting stats sort by WAR here. We said every 5 WAR player here. So Lux, Alonso, Gregorius, Royce Lewis, Willie Adames, Biggio, Robles, Matos, Conforto, Mazzara, Dahl, Story, Bogarts, Mountcastle, Verdugo, Paredes, Senzel, Rendon still made it. I'm kind of surprised to see that. Alvarez, Tucker, McKinney, and then Nimmo is the last one. And we will retire these players. So we're going to head into our last season of simulating to see what the league would look like. I'm not going to go any further than that. I think the players will get too unrecognizable. But I'll simulate until the regular season starts, and I'll be back with you then. So here we are back at opening day, the last season here, and I think I was kind of thinking about this. I feel like this is kind of how baseball would be like if you're like a diehard fan of a specific minor league team, because like all of the really good players, like you won't be able to watch them for much longer because they'll get promoted to the majors. Obviously, you can watch the majors, but in this, they just retire. But it's kind of the same deal. The guys that are so good, you kind of have to enjoy while they're there because they won't be there for too long. Almost like a metaphor for life if you think about it. Kind of getting deep here, but I'll simulate until the playoffs end here. We'll take a look at, I think offense was really down in spring training. I think that could be due to me not deleting as many pitchers as position players, or it was just kind of just a fluke, and that's how spring training went. I don't really know. We'll see here. Eloy Jimenez is still in the league. He's kind of going off. I thought that was a home run, so it was just RBIs. Still a solid season. But a bunch of these guys are prospects or minor leaguers that you may not have heard of, that I haven't heard of a lot of these guys. Like, who is Eric Ullman? He says he's on the Cubs. I don't know if he's on the Cubs in real life, but, like, I don't even know who he is. But it should be interesting to see what happens. I know I keep saying it should be interesting, but it's because it should be interesting. Jeter Downs. There's Eloy. Austin Hayes. Jorge Polanco's still in the league. But, yeah, a lot of these guys, I mean, how many of these guys have you heard of? Be honest here. That's kind of how I expected it to go. Taylor Trammell is pretty solid. I know that. But, yeah, Jose Quintana's still in the league. He's kind of that player that's just always, like, solid enough, but, like, was never, like, a superstar. But interesting stuff. So I'm going to simulate until we get near September, and we'll check out on the leaderboards. So here we are mid-August. Giancarlo Stanton is still in the league. Very interesting. He's had 40 homers, first to 100 RBIs in the National League. The American League, Reese Hins, is that how I say his name? On Cincinnati is kind of going off. He's got 55 bombs already. Trevor Larnach on Atlanta is hitting well. That's cool. There's Eric Ullman, our friend, leading the league in ERA. Taylor Hearn in the American League. And someone who's not a huge prospect follower, I don't know who a lot of these guys are. I do know who Adley Rutschman is, though, of course. He's going off. But again, if we were to keep this going, he would be out of the league the next year. In terms of the playoffs, the Dodgers, Brewers, and Marlins are in first place in their division. The Yankees, the Flying Tigers, and the Astros in the AL West. I still think it's hilarious that they're the Indianapolis Flying Tigers. That's just a really funny name for a team. Offense is not down like I thought it could have been, which is good. It looks like it's kind of stabilized the run environment. But yeah, so this is an interesting division race over here to see if the Flying Tigers can win their first ever division. Meanwhile, the Astros are barely at 500, and they just clinched their division. So Flying Tigers actually do win the division. Brewers win at 500 also. So wildcard, Indians, Twins, Diamondbacks, Braves. Braves and Twins win. Twins, Yankees, the Yankees always win that one, so we don't have much to look for over there. But down here, the Astros are playing the Flying Tigers. Yankees do beat the Twins. Astros beat the Flying Tigers. Marlins beat the Brewers. And the Braves beat the Dodgers. The World Series, Marlins, Yankees. Rematch from, 2000 and something? 1999? I don't know. One of those years. And the Yankees sweep the Marlins. And we'll go take a look at the leaderboards and just see who we would be eliminating if we kept this going. But since this is the third year we're doing this, I don't think I'm going to let it go much longer. So to the stats here, Jimenez hits 53 home runs. J.D. Martinez is still here, hit 51. Some names that are familiar here, like Austin Hayes. Pitching-wise, we've got Carlos Hernandez in ERA and in wins. Tanner Roark's still here. Brent Suter in WAR. Carlos Hernandez. James Karinchak, my guy. How's he doing? 53 innings, 104 strikeouts. Just a beast, man. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you want to get this game, it's a lot of fun. Would definitely recommend use the code in the description. Follow me on Twitter, MLB Random Stats. Subscribe here. I'm going to be doing some giveaways with some more OOTP codes that I've got. And let me know if you have any suggestions for some videos to do in the future. Have a good day.